A Minor Variation by Not Murphy. Chapter 29. A Nation is Lost. I won? He said it one last time, just to savor the feeling. I won! It made him feel all giddy. The sun flashed into the sky as the moon dropped from view. Discord turned, contemplating the 6 ponies who had been the last real threat. And what, pray tell, do I do with all of you? Right now, you're reminders that I can best any pony, but leave you running around too long, and some pony might get stupid ideas about rebellion. Maybe. Probably. I don't care right now. I'll take care of it later. Right now, it's time to really cut loose. He chortled, contemplating the possibilities. The beasts of chaos popped his knuckles. For a 50-mile radius, every robin, blue jay, and sparrow dropped to the ground and began tunneling through the dirt. The worms didn't even know what hit them. He stretched his spine out, and every calendar in the left half of the equestrian continent had every instance of Wednesday replaced with the name Cedric. A few deep knee bends felt just good, but an afterthought he made all the focal fish water into flying creatures. Pikes prowled the trees, minnows nibbled at bushes, and catfish sunned themselves on rooftops. Lumbered up, Discord decided to perform a few warm-ups, all gags that still amused him. Floating houses, conceptual jokes, the usual. Time has stopped and meaning has no meaning. Welcome, one and all, to Weird Mageddon! Yeah, I like that part of Gravity Falls. He figured after a few minutes some real inspiration would occur, but he could come up with something to show off. Because every pony had to know who was in town. Sorry, it's now, darn it. Any minute now, he'd come up with a beauty. Blast! Time to curse. The crummy pen dropped out of an ink spot onto his carefully written application. He wasn't entirely sure what to do. The one thing was abundantly clear, that he was needed to be in these fight classes. Because both Derpy had clearly reminded him being there, and because he was, truth be told, abominable when it came to controlling his feathered apprentices. The scroll was snatched from him by a tiring-looking bureaucrat, who put on a pair of piston-nosed glasses and inspected the scant details provided. Okay, an application for one Tim E. Turner. Thank you, Dr. Stein. That's not exactly right. You see the pen? There was no pony present to listen to his explanation. Well, I suppose it's not the most clever error ever made. It had been at least in half an hour since Discord had declared victory over the elements of harmony. Some pony would have looked at a clock, but the devices started melting if one looked directly at them. Clearly, the reign of chaos is going to take a lot getting used to. Several copies of our scroll were carefully passed around. Ponies read and hoofed them to their immediate neighbors as representatively as they could. Sweetbell heard a mulberry and blue-maned pony cough loudly next to the filly, causing and sliding a copy across the grass. Sweetie read it. Dizzy read it again. She might have been tempted to read it a third time, but she had a sinking feeling the instructions wouldn't change. The diminutive unicorn glared at her desaturated sibling, vowing revenge if they ever made it out of their current predicament. It didn't matter. There's no way she had a chance to do that in front of everyone. Why would Rarity do this to her? It didn't make sense. She watched as the deflated porcupine floated by, pausing any bit of brass it passed. Oh, right, there isn't any sense anymore. Somehow, that did not make her feel better. Discord sat on his paws and contemplated. Nothing. He had the entire world as a bat canvas. He couldn't think of a single thing to do. Oh, there were tons of pranks he wanted to play, but he couldn't remember a single false against one of them. Maybe he should go rub the princess's muzzles and how misguided their faith in the elements and their bears turned out to be. Maybe in a bit. Or he could taunt Derpy about her utter failure to make a difference. Well, yeah, but she's already shut down emotionally. No use in beating a dead... A bright flash of light was followed by a small groan. The spirit of Harmony's ears perked up as he flitted over to the growing pile of letters next to a young dragon, obviously in throes of intestinal woe. Discord snatched one up at random and scanned the lines. Dear Princess Luna, blah blah blah, or that you can always count on. He made various gagging motions as he mumbled his way through the trite missives. Finding nothing of any value, he gestured, and the entire pile crumbled to ash. He whistled up a wind and blew the ash away. "Nice try, you moonbutt!" Ha ha ha! He snickered. Rarity glanced up with something like vague curiosity as her adopted son expelled another magical message, before returning carefully to brushing her mane and coat. "Spiky, dear, do you need an antacid?" she called, not really listening for an answer. The youngling groaned again. "Oh, make it stop!" Discord grinned. "I normally don't do requests, but consider your wish granted, little dragon." With a flourish, the Draconicus produced a black top hat, reached to it, and pulled out a gray parasprite. He stared into the tiny monster's compound eyes, causing them to swirl in many colors. Then he released the little beast. After a moment it took wing, floating around. Without warning, it darted above the purple dragon, opening its jaws impossibly wide and closing it again over blank air. A moment later it belched, releasing a few fragments of parchment. The chaos spirit chortled, leaping in the air. "Behold the benevolence of your dictator for life, Discord!" He considered the matter. Maybe I can amuse myself by granting their wishes in ways that backfire spectacularly, or result in huge amounts of collateral damage. That should be amusing. The brown Pegasus stallion struggled through the horizontal rainfall, a fell wind whirring in his ears. The adrenaline that had gotten him to the cottage failed ages ago, but he had no choice. This was going to be his only chance to get raised on the blast of that storm, and of course, he dropped his blade screwdriver earlier. The only lucky break was that he had turned on low-level sonic vibration before losing his grip on it, so he hoped it would be possible to feel his way to the tool. 10 minutes later, he was about to give up when he finally felt something. It seemed a thin metal device and had become immersed in the muddy ground, and he had to pull it out without touching it directly and sending it deeper. It was much like trying to remove a splinter without tweezers, a tool only unicorns can manipulate. For once, hard work turned out to be rewarding. Moments after he had retrieved the little being, he began reacting violently to a temporal intrusion. By the time he triangulated the source, there were only moments to leap out of the way, a gust of wind blowing him dozens of meters away. He saw the golden flash of the object spattering into the same mud he had just dug up. Typical! With a certain amount of effort, he was able to make the mucky mess of mud yield up his second prize. It was unrecognizable, but from memory, he knew it to be the golden choker with a single gem in the shape of a storm cloud. Considering storm clouds, he was reminded that things were about to become indefinitely more pleasant nearby, so he ran, inasmuch as it was possible to do so in circumstances. When he awoke after the blast, he was lost in the branches of an overturned tree. By some quirk of fate, he had thought to put the sonic screwdriver and the element of loyalty into his saddlebags, which were hanging from a nearby branch. The doctor smiled grimly. Right, 1 down, 5 to go. Rarity glanced nervously at the demon of disharmony, though he seemed occupied at the moment. She caught sight of another white unicorn as she turned back. I am sorry, sweetie Belle, but there was nothing else I could think of. Shaking the thought away with a toss of her mane, she discarded the brush, creeping slowly to her friends. She started with the other gray unicorn. I'm going to get family problems. Stop me when I get something wrong, won't you, dear? Judging from your affliction, you must have had said something that you would give anything to take it back. Twilight refused to make eye contact, so Rarity grabbed her hand in her forehead. Thus, exactly how do you think you will ever repair what you've done without speaking the truth? Lies will avail you nothing, and silence is downright poisonous. The history professor chuckled bitterly. Think it for one who has made that mistake several times. The truth hurts, but pain lets us know we are still alive. Sparkle looked at her, and the expression on her muzzle was one of doubt, but was still the most response he had given since leaving the library. Things were not going smoothly, but at least the minor hiccups were providing him with some small measure of diversion. Discord considered the matter. The first pony to approach, a carrot-top mare called something Harvest. No, that's the name of her farm! Carrot Top is her name! And Mr. Draconicus would just go buck himself. He turned into a radish. After that, it had taken a long time for any pony to be willing to come forward. He had to idly calm himself that Granting wishes might slightly be more entertaining than turning ponies into lawn furniture. Next had come the frivolous little request. Turning the grass into a checkerboard pattern. Turning the sky fuchsia. One pony wished for all the shrubbery to be orange. The next had wished for it to be blue. And then he had gone about 6 more going back and forth. In the end, he turned the last one's coat into an orange and blue checkerboard pattern. He anticipated he would just be gathering the nerve to try and trick him, when a pink filly marched up to him. Apparently, her special talent was redundancy, because she was wearing the same headgear that marked her flank. Nevertheless, she certainly seemed to have the potential to amuse him for a few moments. The pettiness in her character was blindly ominous. In what, pray tell, can Discord, the great and powerful, do for you? Hey, that's Trixie's line! His grin was as wide as he leaned forward to take in every little detail. The scholar noted that the spirit of disharmony was still managing to amuse himself quite effectively. He can't glass, but I need to get as far as I can before he comes back to goat. Next up was Diane. Brandy wasn't entirely sure how to. No, she knew exactly how to proceed. A field of blue magic held the earth pony in place as the unicorn hissed in her ear. Well, was it fun? Did you enjoy getting to be the cutting one for a while? I can certainly understand the frustration of watching every pony continue to make the same mistakes over and over again. But aren't you the one who is usually telling me that 2 months of anything is bad for you? It's time to care again. It's time to... A distinctly pink and somewhat desaturated hoof stopped the unicorn's speech. The elder independence rolling her eyes over to a Pegasus who was blue in every sense except her hue. The town librarian nodded. He was almost 2 minutes off when the crash happened. The Pegasus peered as he cantered to the blue box. Hello? Is there anybody in here? Cautiously, she stuck her head through the open door. Well, it's... The doctor crept around to the other side of the TARDIS, ostensibly to avoid being seen by himself, but mostly to not hear that line again. He used to love that bit. Although, thanks to Series 9, we now know what the Doctor really prefers when you do that bit. That was the worst part of his next few years. He knew that she was here, with him. Of course, he was himself. But he wasn't him now. Hold on. When he was himself, he would still have... Oh, never mind. It was confusing and painful. That pretty much covers it. The Doctor caught sight of the blonde Pegasus, and what looked like an earth pony walking toward the nearby town, and he made his move. First, retrieving the necklace from where it had rebounded off the time machine, causing both to crash in the modern era. The gem was an irradiated color. It could have either been a piece of fruit under a balloon, or a very fat exclamation point. I suppose that rather is the point. Now, it was his chance to borrow the blue box and fizz up everything again. Of course, that meant he had to bring it back as well. Bloody paradoxes, grumbled the brown stallion to himself. Oh, I am so hearing the Doctor theme. Rainbow Dash! I'm afraid there's simply no kind of way to put it. Verity sighed, plunging ahead. The level of paranoid self-aggrandizement required for you to believe that your choices are the sole source of changes in a pony's destiny is staggering. Ah, now she had the Pegasus' attention. Simply put, you have neither the responsibility nor the right to carry the weight of the world upon your shoulders. More importantly, I wouldn't trade you for anything. Now get up! Hints of color returned to the pale pony. Rarity, I'm so... The historian put a hoof over her face and groaned. Rainbow, I swear to Luna, if you try to apologize for anything that monster did to you, I will... Then, I don't know what I would do, but it would be very messy. She was not altogether successful in keeping a note of amusement out of her voice. Dash did seem to be improving, however, so it's time to move on. Jackie's next, right? I noticed something important earlier. When I was having trouble caring about anything, I think she... The bully Pegasus shared a few observations that proved to be very helpful. It took longer to find the great earth pony than Rarity expected. Was she trying to get away? Looks like Das was right. Oh dear. She cleared her throat, startling the formerly blonde pony. Ah, Jacqueline, how are you? I'll put down so long, it seems to me. Why won't you ponies come on and set me free? This the Scholar Pony ignored. Quite. So, I was just thinking about how the two of us have never really had a good informal chat. Most a pity, since I rather envy your travels and all the sights and experiences you must have had. Rarity was finished, to find that she meant she was saying, I won't stop you if you insist on leaving, but I warn you now, you're never going to get rid of us. Call me greedy if you must, but I refuse to give up anything I treasure as much as my friendships. It was true, but it rang hollow somehow. That was what she realized she was going to have to do, gross as it would be. Perhaps what I mean to say is, you've got a friend in me. When the orange pony fell in giggling, Rarity knew it was time to move on to Fluttershy, or kill Jackie, which would have been a waste of a great deal of effort, she accused herself. Diamond Tiara shivered, in spite of herself, but she shook it off. She was going to see justice done today. The so-called Cutie Mark Crusaders were at the center of the entire mess. She was going to use that to get at least one tiny bit of satisfaction out of this entire travesty of a day. She stopped grinding her teeth and glared up into the Draconicus' smug face. You can tell every pony here what really happened today, growled the white and purple filly. How 3 stupid blank flakes broke you free to do all this. Her voice raised in pitch as she threw herself onto the accusation. You can point out, once and for all, that they're really a bunch of hypocrites who are more dangerous and more malicious than I've ever been. She took a few quick breaths before glaring up at the spirit of disharmony. That's what you can do for me. Also, you can make my mother sane again. Oh! Hey! No references to Pony POV! Sorry, I'll never do it again. Although, considering, her mother in canon, I think I would rather go with Pony POV. The filly's furious fuming had earned the attention of most of the assembled equanimity. Discord grinned. She's right, you know. All of this wonderful chaos is possible because of year 3. He floated over to them, looming and leering. Such loyal service deserves rewarding. Tell me, is there anything your hearts desire? He already knew what drove her every waking moment. But making a pony admit what they wanted was part of the fun. He decided to go for the unicorn. She seemed ripe to crack. You are Sweetie Belle, sister of Rarity, if I'm not mistaken. Can you honestly tell me there is nothing in this world you desire? Life shivered visibly, horrified by the public attention, struggling with herself. Discord could practically taste the inner turmoil. Finally, Sweetie let out her breath, and with a lowered head whispered, Yes, there is one thing that I want. More than anything else in the world, I like... Things are going to speed up, so I'm afraid we don't have time to do this gently, Fluttershy. I told you before, Rarity, I'm not... Your right mind, yes, I figured that out. But you are Fluttershy! Rarity advanced upon the carrying Pegasus, hating herself, but not seeing any other options she had time for. It confused me before, but there was too much else going on, your claim. Uncle's Razor tells us that the simpler solution is often the real one. It would be far easier to make Fluttershy question her own identity, than turn the fake into a doll. But in a way, it wouldn't even be a change. But, the Discord could just turn us into inanimate objects. Why bother with the rest? Why not just turn us all into paperweights, and torture each of us in turn at his leisure? Reggie walked forward, for all the world looking like she barely even noticed Pegasus, as though she was simply pacing and speculating aloud. However, that is not the most compelling reason for not believing that Fluttershy was turning into a doll. No, I would rather believe that Fluttershy trusted her friends enough that, on occasion, she would admit to being afraid, unsure, or maybe even simply frustrated, that she could stop pretending to be a perfect doll. Now she looked directly at the yellow mare. What do you think? Doesn't that sound like a much better world to be living in? Fluttershy nodded. It was like a click. One moment, Sweetie's heart was pounding like it was going to leap out of her chest, and the next time, in space, seemed to have become some sort of a perfect crystal. It slipped away. She looked up at the demon in disarray and smiled. What do I want? She took in a deep breath. Now or never. She glanced at her co-conspirators, her best friends, as he sang, loud and clear. She sang, "Performance anxiety, be damned!" I like to build the world a home. These first few moments were going to be the most crucial, and here came her three backups, joining her once the second line. And furnish it with love. Now it was Bloom's turn. And grow apple trees and honey bees and flying tortoises. That was Scootaloo's addition, but it worked somehow. For his part, Discord didn't seem to know what to make of the event yet, so he pulled into the second verse, hoping like mad that Spike and the others were getting every party to join in, or this was going to be over very quickly. I like to teach the world to sing, rang the unicorn filly's voice. From the corner of her eyes, she saw the pony swinging. Sing with me! Apple Bloom and Scoots came in at the end of her line, finding a common pitch. In perfect harmony! All three crusaders joined in, holding the last note. Perfect harmony! Twist echoed, a few of the crowd joining her. Instantly, she didn't sing with a lisp. I like to hold it in my hooves and keep it company. Sweetie began projecting from her diaphragm, leading the others. 30 seconds had gone by. The Chronicles was beginning to frown, and the crowd had started to understand. Four fillies locked hooves, swaying side to side as they continued. I like to see the world for once. Twist grabbed her hoof of a green uniform. Lyra, was it? All standing hoof and hoof. Flitter took Scootaloo's other hoof, so he could hear the lines of ponies forming behind him. And hear them echo through the hills. The tricky parts were coming up. For peace throughout the land. Okay, you can stop now, Discord growled, feeling uncomfortable. Sweetie nodded at Apple Bloom, not paying any attention to the chaos spirit. That's the song I hear, the youngest Apple sang loud and clear. That's the song I hear. Sweetie, Scootaloo, and Twist responded, all four joining up again. Let the world sing today, over and over. Stop singing, or I'm going to, the spirit fumed, barely able to hear himself over the crowd of voices. The growing harmonization of voices. Oh, crud. I like to teach the world to sing, sing in perfect harmony, over and over again. Boo! Hiss! Get off the stage! Your lead singer sounds like a robot with bad auto-tuning. As the crowd began at the echoing refrains, Sweetie stepped deep inside and found the voice to deliver the last lines. A song of peace that echoes on and never goes away. Over and over, the choruses rang out. Ponies who didn't know the words hummed along. Cotton candy clouds slowed and began to dissolve into nothing. Buildings drifted back toward the ground. And Xenias became more sedate in general. Without physically changing, Discord seemed something less satisfied with the narration of the story, perhaps. Hey, there's no need to be rude. Oh, I beg to differ. Hey, stop bringing the fourth wall on me, guys. In any case, the bearers of the elements took the field, sporting greater or lesser degrees of restored saturation. The spirit of disharmony watched them through lidded eyes. You used a spell to make yourself look gray, didn't you? Da-da-dum, da-da-dum, ba-da-dum. Cue the star music! He not so much asked as he accused the white pony. Verity grinned. Not my most elegant solution, but one can hardly argue with the results. I can argue with anything. I had a decade to debate with a patch of grass about the merits of photosynthesis. Discourse quit failed to even earn a chuckle. Whatever. But you made a serious error, Miss Bell. You've shown your hand. All I have to do is wait until your little chorus line gets bored or falls out of tune. This is not a mistake I will allow to happen again. He sneered, steepling his fingers, when he began to wonder. No, I am not going to ask. There is no way I'm tempting fate. You must realize you can't win. What in Equestria were you hoping to accomplish here? The lancing one with sore throat. I just had to ask, didn't I? What? Absolutely nothing. The scholar grinned, disturbing both enemy and ally. And that scares you all the way to tolerance, doesn't it? I finally realized what you were talking about, back when we first met. Any plan I could come up with, you could foil before I finished. So instead of racking my brain for an impossible solution, I decided to take a chance. Da-da-dum! Ba-da-dum! Jackie burst out laughing. Yeah! Really? That's hilarious. Her unicorn friend wasn't laughing. You serious? Shug, don't take this the wrong way, but are you out of your dang mind? The Earth Mare gestured to Conquest. Are you honestly expecting to appear on random chance to beat the supposed incarnation of chaos? I'm going to say, it's not like strange coincidences like that happen in real. Da 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 bum 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 bum. Q I am the doctor, people. Da 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 bum 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 bum. A blue rectangular solid materialized out of nothing and nowhere. A door on one side busting open to reveal a brown Pegasus stallion carrying a cardboard box held by a unicorn foal. Pardon me, but did anybody order a case of Deus Ex Machina? No! Discord hell. This is highly unlikely and improbable. The improbable Pegasus regarded Dinky Boo. Remind me to pick up a copy of Brown Rabbit to read to you later, will you, Muffin? He glanced at the distressed Discord, quirking an eyebrow. Honestly, throwing a time traveler into a temporal vortex. You're just looking at forsworn causing paradoxes. A grey blur tackled the stallion, pausing to catch the lavender filly in a tight hug before nestling both. You're okay! I thought... Words failed to Malmare, so she did so without them. Reba Jasmine had dived for the box, almost to have Discord shove her muzzle first into the grass as he reached and suddenly found himself under a sizable boulder. Say hello to my little friend! Verity cackled. Ha 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 ha! Sit! Stay! Good Tom. Oh, I think we found you a friend, Boulder. Yay. Fluttershy helped the blue Pegasus back onto her hose, and the pair distributed the 5 necklaces. We appear to be missing one, Diane noted. Twilight rolled her eyes. Rarity, how did you end up with such an overly dramatic element? The pony question chuckled. I'm certain I have no idea what you're implying, Twilight dear. Meanwhile, everybody get into position. I think we're all quite ready for this to be over. With a crack of thunder from a clear sky, the tiara of the 6th element materialized. As the light of harmony began to glow, Discord moaned, I don't want to go. Oi! Shouted an irate time traveler. 6 colors blended into one, and the rainbow of harmony spiraled up and crashed down upon the screaming Discord, before extending an ever-expanding dome of light that rushed into the countryside, restoring to balance to that which had been warped by the influence of chaos. You know, I've been reading these stories, and this is like the second time Discord's ever been beaten in one of these. I mean, Discord rarely shows up in any of these alternate verses, and I haven't had a chance to bring him out yet, so having him his butt handed to him like this, glorious. Eventually the light faded, and ponies opened their eyes again. Loved ones and friends were found, checked out, and it turned out sure that each was still alright. Except for Diamond Tiara's mother, who was still insane. One more pony POV reference. I dare you! I triple dog dare you! Over time, normalcy would go back to being a boring thing. But in scarcity, the mundane had become precious. Or say another way, the everyday remained as it was. The ponies saw it with more appreciation than before. Finally, there were no more excuses to put off this inspection of the fallen foe of sanity. The 6 approached, the crowd following close behind. None of them could have said what they expected, but what they beheld was not it. Discord lay, petrified, clutching at a large rock. He appeared to either be trying to hide behind it or hugging it, depending on what angle the statue was viewed from. More pressing seemed to be the broken hourglass, which was hand-racing glowing pastel. Randy began barking orders. Rainbow! Flask! Now! She glanced at the Pegasi, relieved to see that both had landed, sacrificing mobility for a reduced risk of spreading the sand that represented the power of an alicorn. The white unicorn shared a look with her purple counterpart, and he began whisking much of the precious spilled Dwemer dust that he could before it melted away. Every pony moved quickly and carefully, loath to even breathe lest they waste years of the princess's life. They salvaged as much of the harmonious sand as they could. There was no way to gauge how much was left, but it was definitely less than it had been. Why hadn't it simply restored to the Solar Princess? And why was he out of the rainbow's effective range? The sun remained in his rightful place in the sky, and the mystery would have to wait until he could return the glowing veil to its rightful owner.